morning, everyone. I was just about to introduce ourselves with what episode and what season, but you don't need to know that. If you're a long-time listener, you'll know what episode it is. And if you're not a long-time listener, why haven't you been? But anyway, welcome to another rip-roaring episode of Stace and Barry in the morning. Bringing some sass and bringing some jazz. My name is Barry and I'm on the jazz. Because all I can say is jazz, apparently, and more. Guess what I'm going to say? It's jazz. Yeah. This is what happens when you get told 10 seconds before you start recording that it's your turn to do the intro. This is what you get, people. This is the quality of shit that you get.
Yeah. I mean, jazz.
I should say I'm Barry Nugent. For people who first time listeners, my name is Barry Nugent. I'm a Gemini. I like long walks in the park and outrunning ninjas. And joining me on the virtual sofa at the other end is my lovely co-host, Stacey. Or Stace.
Hello.
Stace
Yes.
Bob. Or Stace
Ace.
Chuck.
Or Tails. Or Squint. What was the one my husband called me once? Squiggle. Because of my squiggly hair. Hello, yes. I'm Stacey. I'm a Virgo. I do not like long walks in the park, and I would really like ninjas to stay away from me if at all possible.
Okay.
How would I even know, though? Because they're so stealth.
Shit ninjas.
Well, yeah, they're just clonking around my house like, shh, fuck.
She's seen us.
Shit. And one of them's just hiding behind a curtain that's not full length.
Larry. Larry the ninja fucks it up again for everyone.
Oh, dearie me. I hope there's no ninjas in my house because I'm on my Todd right now because my husband is out having a tot with some work friends. So I don't want there to be ninjas here.
Unless it's Larry. Larry the ninja would make for a great reality show. He's just a shit ninja. He's just trying to learn to be a better ninja.
I would categorically, I'm the opposite of stealthy. I am. It's just gone suspiciously stormy looking outside, so I'm really scared that it's gone like really dark really fast. So fingers crossed we get through this episode without storms occurring.
Are you struck by lightning?
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Okay.
If I can help it.
Yeah. Well, as we record, because some people would like to think that we record live on a weekend, but it's May the 4th, so I felt obliged to say May the 4th be with you and all that marketing Star Wars jazz that goes with it.
Oh, this is the way, innit?
Nice!
I would love the Mando to say this is the way, innit?
Cockney Mando.
Oh, dear.
Oi, Gideon, you want some, you slag?
I was saying to Rich the other day, because total tangent, but still geek related, so it's fine. I was struggling with the last series of Mandalorian because people still keep calling him Mando, even though he's now knocking around a load of Mandalorians. True. So it don't make no sense. But you'd say Mando, and it'd be tantamount to just going, "Oi, person," and everybody going, "Yeah." Anyway, and everybody knows his name now. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. So. But then again, I know Grogu's name, and I'm never going to stop calling him Baby Yoda. So
yeah, exactly. It's more of an affectionate kind of side name. And I was going to say something. Oh, yes. So May the 4th, Star Wars, all that jazz. I think they've dropped the Star Wars Visions Season 2. I haven't seen Season 1. This is all the different animated shorts. But the reason I mention it is because our mate Danny Abraham. Yeah, Abraham. Has been involved in one of the shorts.
I know, that's so fucking amazing.
That's just the Aardman one. And I haven't watched any of it yet, but her one looks great, so I'm looking forward to diving in. And congrats, Danny. Oh my God, start again. And congrats, Danny, if you're listening.
Yay for Danny.
Yay.
I was trying to clap, but not too loud because I didn't want to upset the levels. But then I realised I probably wasn't registered at all. So it seemed like I just did a sort of semi-sarcastic "Yay, Danny," and then silence.
Yay, Danny.
Yay, Danny. I love Danny. She's wonderful.
She's top. Trumpets.
Stupidly talented. Here, have some trumpets. Jazz. There was a trumpet for you. Should we do a bit of pick of the fortnight?
Go on then.
Go on. Well, I can whip through mine really quick because it's very new and I don't want to spoil it. I went to the cinema to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 yesterday.
Is that out?
It is, yeah. And that's the thing that I forgot I was doing when I tried to organise recording a podcast with you yesterday. It was a bank holiday that threw me off. You would think as a 37-year-old woman that I'd fucking understand bank holidays by now. But when you asked me, can we record tomorrow, in my head, you asked me that on Monday, but it was Tuesday. Right. So I thought it meant we were recording on Tuesday, but it was Wednesday, which was when I had Guardians plans. It's really fucking good, yeah. It is. So, like I say, I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's fair to say that it's very much in the same vein as the other two Guardians movies, which are like top-tier Marvel for me. I really love. In fact, I think the second one might be a little bit better than the first, but only marginally. What a non-enthusiastic sound.
I thought the second one was all right. That's my take. I loved the first one.
So I've got a thing about stuff where people have issues with their dads. That is a thing that hits real home for me. And so Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was like, it's volume 2, daddy issues, was very much like, oh no, I'm going to cry. like the whole way through. I'm a disaster person. So yeah, like that one sort of emotionally resonated with me more. Yeah. But volume 3 is like very similar to the other two in the sense that it's like, it looks gorgeous, because I recently saw Quantumania and that looked, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous because it's set in a quantum universe that's all, squiggles and nonsense and doesn't exist, but that looked so like fakey. Right. Whereas this is set on like several different planets, all of which look different, with loads of different people and alien races and things knocking around, but everything looks like tangible, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Like you can't say it looks realistic because there aren't really, aliens wandering around, but they all look like stuff like if you poked it, it'd be there, even though a lot of it isn't. So it looks, yeah, exactly. So it looks gorgeous for a start. The score is brilliant. The soundtrack, again, like James Gunn just knows how to pick a song for a moment. It's got all the like the humour, the heart, the like emotional heartstring pullery that all of the other Guardians have had. One thing I will say, which I don't think is a spoiler based on the trailers, but one thing I will say is if you are a bit squicky about cruelty to animals, this one might be rough for you because it sort of focuses quite a bit on how Rocket became Rocket. And it's, even though it's all CGI animals, they're all well done enough that firstly they all look kind of real, so it feels still kind of distressing, and also it's just they're just so sweet and adorable, and I wanted to adopt them all. So yeah, I'd say to tread carefully if you find cruelty to animals hard. Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, I found it a bit rough, but in the sort of, I think I found it rough at the level that you're supposed to for that film. Like it pulled my heartstrings in the way that it was intending to. It wasn't like genuinely distressing to me, right. But I think to other people it might be. But largely, yeah, I thought it was great. Everybody's bringing their A game. It all looked good. It all sounded good. It made me laugh. It made me almost cry a couple of times. So, yeah, I would say thumbs up for that, because I will be honest, the last few Marvel things have been either very average or like grossly underwhelming to me. So I was quite happy.
I think where I am with the Marvel stuff is that what I realise is it's kind of like I got everything I needed to get from everything running up to Endgame in terms of a story.
Yeah, same. And this phase has felt a bit directionless to me. Even though I know it's technically building up to like Kang and all that stuff, it doesn't feel like that.
I kind of almost feel like if they hadn't then turned around, I haven't seen Ant-Man, but I kind of feel like if they hadn't turned around and gone, oh, Kang's going to be the new villain, this one we've got to watch, he's Thanos level and stuff like that. I almost wish they doubled down on do you know what, we told this massive epic story, which has introduced everyone to the MCU, and now we're just going to do our own thing in different pockets of the MCU.
Yeah, I think that would have made more sense.
And I feel like if I approach this phase with that mindset and keep that firmly in mind, and the stuff that I enjoy, I just enjoy, rather than trying to sort of go, oh, I enjoy it in that level, but how does that link in?
I will say Guardians feels separate. It feels like the final piece to the Guardians trilogy without feeling like it's really, mired in Marvel.
Tying in, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I will say as well that I thought the villain in it was probably my favourite Marvel villain, in the sense of actually feeling like a goddamn terrifying threat.
Right.
I did not like that guy. Whoever I don't know the name of the actor because I'm a terrible human being.
Right.
But whoever he is acted the shit out of this role. Like, he took that role and he went, I'm gonna make this fucker evil, and went with it. And I was like, oh, hot damn. So yeah, it was quite nice to come out of a Marvel movie feeling all jazzed again, because I liked Doctor Strange, but like Ant-Man and the last Thor, and like even Wakanda Forever was like,
Yeah. You're never, I don't, certainly not in my lifetime, you're never going to repeat what you did with those movies to get up to Endgame in my lifetime. And I kind of feel what they're doing at the moment, I don't really know what they're doing at the moment, and I guess that isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I think now I'm kind of, I suppose what I am is I'm looking for the next big thing, if you get
the
what
thing
I mean.
That's going to draw you back in.
Yeah, it's like, which might not even be Marvel. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like my Marvel journey is kind of, I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm okay. I can dip in and out. I don't mind. I don't feel that urge. So like for me, everything's about Indy 5.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that is my, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, right, I'm another day towards Indy 5. Thank the Lord I'm still here. Yeah, all that, So that's my goal. Whereas whereas the Marvel stuff, it's just something that's going on in the background. Hence me not even realising that the new Guardians was out.
Well, Rich said to me when we left the cinema yesterday, he was like, what's the next Marvel movie? I was like, oh, I fucking know.
No, I don't.
I haven't got a clue. Couldn't tell you. I'm looking forward to the Nick Fury TV series, but I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not. Yeah. And I don't know if it's a case of we've had everything comes along pretty quickly with Marvel. You haven't got to wait too long, and there's another something. So I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, but Guardians is well worth a watch, says me.
Oh no, I'm looking forward to checking it, because I did like the other two films. So I am looking forward to sort of checking this out.
I do think they have had the benefit of being a little bit separate.
Yes.
In the sense that the only thing I will say about this one is that if you haven't seen Endgame, obviously the stuff going on with Gamora won't make a lick of sense. You're like, hey, what? But aside from that, like, I think, you could pretty much watch these 3 movies on their own and know almost everything you need to know to watch them. Enjoyed it. Big thumbs up from this little nerd.
Nice. Right. Well, given the fact that that was supposed to be a quick one.
Oh yeah, shit.
My one is going to be. I had 3 potential selected, but I'm going to go for the short one. I was going to say spicy one, but that's not what I meant at all, because that'd be a burrito, and that's not this show. So I watched a trailer for a film. Which will now mean this will be a trilogy when this film comes out, from an actor who I think this is the only film that he's done any sequels to.
Okay.
So the actor is Denzel Washington, and
I know what this is.
The film is The Equaliser 3.
Yeah.
So to begin with, I had no, like, I love the first two Equaliser films. I love the first one more, but I did love the first two Equaliser films. I don't know what it is about me and sequels. But I genuinely thought that was it. Because one, he is renowned for not, revisiting characters. He's like a one and done sort of a guy. And I didn't even know they were doing an Equaliser 3. Someone mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, he's chatting nonsense. He's not doing one of those. It's all done now. Then all of a sudden, I happened to, I got an email through GS to say, Equaliser 3 trailer. And I thought, what? And then I thought, oh, maybe it's one of these straight-to-video jobbies where they've kind of replaced him with someone else. And it's like, I don't know.
A bit embarrassing.
Yeah, it's like Johnny the Paperboy is playing Equaliser now. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know. And then I realised it was him. I stuck the trailer and I was like, oh my Lord, people are getting fucked up.
Do you know what? I haven't watched the trailer for this yet because I genuinely can't remember if I've seen the second one or not. I feel like I must have done, but I don't remember.
You've seen the first one, haven't you?
I've definitely seen the first one, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check with Rich because Rich will know if we've seen the second one or not.
Yeah.
And then I can figure out whether or not I want to put the trailer in my eyes for the third.
I think if you enjoyed the first one, because you did enjoy the first one, I remember.
I loved it, yeah. We did.
That's what I mean. I think the second one is good. I think I need to watch it again, but it was good. But I think the first one's so good, and in some ways works so well as a kind of in the same way, like with the John Wick films. I saw a bit of the first John Wick film the other day, and I loved that film. And I kind of feel, as much as I love the other ones, I haven't seen the latest one. It's slightly diminished. It's like doing a copy. It's like you've got an original and then you photocopy it, and you still get that same buzz, but it's just something slightly missing.
Yeah.
And I felt Equaliser 2 was a little bit like that. I don't know what Equaliser 3 is going to be like in terms of that, but the trailer gave me what I wanted. It's like he's living a quiet life, much like people come fuck with his friends. He's like, I'm going to have to get busy on some people. And even in the 30 seconds, he gets busy with some people. He'll get hurt, Stace, I won't lie.
Oh, well, that's my favourite kind of trailer, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Spoilers, people get fucked up. And one particular person, even if you don't go on to watch the film, watch the trailer, because one particular person gets fucked up in a way you're just like, oh, that guy's, he's like done now, isn't he? He's done, isn't he? Which goes from that.
Yeah, I always sort of love those in movies where it's like, especially if the protagonist is supposed to be like a good guy, where it's like Batman, it's like, oh, he's never killed anyone. I'm like, nobody's severed that guy's spine, I'm pretty sure. Dude ain't walking again.
Yeah, I mean the whole. I mean, I could do a whole 2-hour podcast in the whole kind of like Batman. I never kill. Are you sure about that? Because
absolutely sure, old Brucey.
There's a lot of people in them Batman films where you kind of just go, that guy's done.
Yeah, you've lobbed him out of a 30-story window, mate. Yeah. I don't know what you think that is, if not dead.
It's like, okay, you might not. Okay, maybe dead is a broad term. You might not have killed him, but for sure you've crippled him.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure, that guy is only eating through a straw from now on, and only talking with the aid of someone standing next to him doing like sign language or something.
Yeah, good old bats.
Happy days. I still think this is a real rambly episode, but regardless of whether you like Batman v Superman, that scene in the warehouse where he just annihilates like about 20 guys, and like there's one guy where he grapples like a wooden crate and throws it into this guy, and you see his head hit the back of the wall, and he just slides down. His blood left. I'm like, well, that guy's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. There's other people where you could argue, like, okay, well, but that guy, he just hit with a crate, and his brains are literally he's dead.
Yeah, I would. If I was like a henchman of some description, and I saw Batman, I'd be like, nope. I'm off.
There's a really I don't know if you've seen it, but in the old Batman animated series, there's a clip I found it on YouTube a month ago, and I'd forgotten it. There's a scene where you've got this henchman, and he's like checking doors, and I think they've heard a noise. I don't think he knows it's Batman, and he's checking doors, and he opens the door, and like Batman's in the room, and I can't remember, he's either beating on someone or he may just be in the room, and the guy just closes the door and walks off. It's the best clip.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And I think even the clip's called like the best Batman villain ever, or something, or the smartest Batman villain. Just closes the door, doesn't tell anyone, just walks on. That would be
Brilliant.
me. And then I would hang up my gun, get in my car, and drive home.
And move cities.
Yeah. That's why I always like that bit in John Wick where you've got the bouncer guy and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Wick, I didn't realise you were working. Why don't you take that off? Thank you." And I'm out.
Brilliant. Equaliser though? Yeah,
yes.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So much for my quick one.
Let's get the trumpets out, shall we?
Get the trumpets out, roll them out.
That was a little one for you. Shall we do a musical musing? My musical musing is very unsurprisingly from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 soundtrack by John Murphy. And
well, I know.
I had to be careful because I didn't want to pick a song that had a title, What is a Spoiler? Because it's a relatively new film. And I ended up picking one that was in Latin. And then, well, it looks Latin. And then I tried to Google what it means. And Google's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you speaking in tongues, lad? So I don't know if it's a spoiler because I couldn't translate it.
Well, probably the fact that you can't translate it probably means it won't spoil it.
I'm hoping it's one of those things where they've gone, right, we want this to sound vaguely operatic, so we'll make up some fake Latin sounding stuff. But it's a track called Mo Ergaste Fawn. There you go. I don't know what it means. I hope it's not a spoiler. It's a really beautiful piece of music. It's like a choir operatic type, lots of Latin. It's beautiful and haunting, like just on the side of eerie, quite melancholic, just a really gorgeous piece. And where it fits in the film, which again I'm not going to spoil because I'm not an arsehole, like it really fits the scene, it really sets the scene. So yeah, it's a bit depressing to listen to, so like maybe put on, like your favourite comedy song afterwards just to cheer yourself up. Bit of Flight of the Conchords or something. But yeah, that's my choice for this fortnight.
Oh, well, I've just realised my choice has no composer currently, so I'm whizzing to Google. Look amongst yourselves, always look on the right side of no, I don't want to fucking advert. Okay, so this track comes from, I talked about a game a little while ago called Marvel's Midnight Suns.
You did,
and the soundtrack is done by Tim Wynn. Tim for the win. And, this track is called Origins, and one of the things I think games get really, I think games sometimes get a bit undervalued in terms of the soundtracks, because there's some amazing game soundtracks out there.
Absolutely.
Like, amazing. And I've been playing the game for a little while, and I've been enjoying it, and I haven't really taken the soundtrack as much because I've still been trying to get my head around turn-based games and trying to understand what the heck I'm doing.
Oh yeah, but they're hard.
They're hard. But this track is called Origins, and I sat and listened to it, and I was kind of like, this is amazing. And kind of, it feels like this could be in the Marvel Midnight Suns, could have been like a Marvel film or TV show. And in many ways, I kind of wish it was. Yeah, it's amazing. Very anthemic theme.
Nice.
Tim winning at being Tim.
Excellent. Here's some more trumpets.
Do it.
Extra, geek all about it. Right, I've got 3 bits of geeky news, one of which is incredibly speculative, so I don't even know if it's true. And then the other 2 things are related to stuff that I'm not a fan of. So So like the entire conversation will be based on whether or not you give a shit. And if not, if you just cut it right the fuck out, just snippety snip right on it there.
So one thing could be a lie.
Yeah. And the other two things could just
really give a shit about.
Yeah, could just fall flat, completely flat.
Okay.
But you know, that's the life you live, on the edge with Stace and Barrow.
I'm tiptoeing on the edge, ready.
Okay. Geek bit of news number 1. Jim Lee has been promoted to president of DC Comics.
Yes, he has.
Call blimey. Now, I haven't read a DC comic in years, so I don't really care. But good for him, I guess.
Jim, if you're listening, Stace doesn't care. I kind of care.
Congrats, I guess.
Congrats, mate.
I don't know if he's any good for the job because I haven't been paying attention. I'm sorry.
You know how this news stuff works, right? Just for the next episode. Okay.
Well, I am imparting the news. I'm just also not having an opinion on it. Second bit of possibly inconsequential news. J. Michael Straczynski has said that he's making a Babylon 5 animated movie.
Yes, this I knew, and was one of my, well, it was my only geek all about it.
Ah, there we go.
Good choice, because I loved Babylon 5.
Never seen an episode in my life.
So once again, J. Michael, J. Once again, J. Michael, if you're listening, Stace doesn't care about the animated film or about Babylon 5, one of the greatest sci-fi shows that ever walked the earth. And for people who are about to start, people who are already tapping to sort of go Star Wars was or Star Trek, just stop. Okay, I said one of, not the best. I said one of. Just stop, hit backspace, because I'm not interested.
Have a cup of tea, calm
the fuck down. We can all exist in the same space.
Yeah. Right, do you want the speculative news, or have you got thoughts on Babylon 5?
No, I just think it's great. He seems really infused about it. Apparently, he said the film's already finished.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's in the can. Movie title, release date, another details coming 1 week from today. I mean, honestly, someone should just walk into my house and just take away my geek card, because to recap, didn't know they were doing the Babylon 5 animated movie. Didn't know it was coming out too soon. Didn't know Guardians of the Galaxy was dropping. Well, has dropped and is out and people have seen it. My only excuse I can say, as I already said, all I care about right now is news about Indiana Jones 5. So apologies that I'm not keeping up on geek happenings.
I've got to say, like, part of me writing down so many bits of geek all about it was just because I wanted to prove to people that there's more in my brain than Ninja Turtles. Because if you followed me on Twitter for the past few weeks, you might believe that that's all that's up in there is just turtles just running around being insane. Do you want the bit of speculative? Ooh, speculative news. Ooh, intriguing.
Well, seeing how you've wrapped it in so many news, I feel like I've got to now.
Ooh, intriguing. Hey, so do you remember back when God, put my fucking teeth in, try that again. Whew. Do you remember back when Cloverfield came out, the first one?
Yes.
Back in the early 40s, or whatever we're calling that decade. And there was a website, like they did a lot of like online marketing, like a la, you know, the Blair Witch Project, where it was like, you know, is this a real bit of video? And like, suspense. That website has suddenly come back online, slusho.com, which people are like, does this mean more Cloverfield? Now, I don't know if it does mean more Cloverfield, because there have been, like, you know, 2 others since then, and I don't think that website did shit during that. But, but you know, we can but get excited. It's got to be online for a reason, right? It's got to be something.
Or maybe someone just effed up and hit a publish button they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, someone done fucked up. I mean, that could also be true. But in the spirit of speculation, how about let's pretend and go, that's intriguing.
Okay. Ooh, that is intriguing. I hope they haven't messed up and it's actually another Cloverfield film winging its way to cinemas soon.
I would enjoy that, I think.
Yes.
Ooh.
Also, 10 Cloverfield Lane, cracking soundtrack, and I'm out.
Oh, yeah, man. Just generally a good movie. But
yes, it was a good movie, actually. I'll still say the last The last probably 10, 15 minutes of 10 Cloverfield Lane, I was just literally just going, what?
Yeah.
What?
What?
That was not how I expected this to end up.
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, if it hadn't have said Cloverfield in the title, up until that point, I'd have probably just been like, is this a movie where a man's a creep? Is this another one of those movies where a man's a creep? But yeah, so there's all my Geek All About It news times. Not Ninja Turtles related. Cool. What about that?
I think we should start calling it like Stacey's News without turtles.
Stacey's non-Turtles news.
Yeah, Turtleless News with Stace Bob.
But then what if I have Turtles related news?
And it'd be Turtles News with Stace Bob. Where you shuffle papers and look important.
I always look important.
This is true.
No, I don't. You should see my fringe right now. It's a good job we don't do video calls when we record, because you'd just be like, has your fringe got a mind of its own? Are you about to be controlled by sentient hair? But I don't think I am. I think my hair's fine. Shall we shut up? Shall we leave?
Yeah.
Shall we finish it?
Maybe that's the plot of the next Cloverfield film. Your fringe goes crazy and starts killing people.
It's Cloverfield lunatic fringe.
It's fringe. Barton Fringe.
We got the trailer for the next Fast and the Furious movie when we were at the cinema yesterday, and I was like, what even? Like, how many different ways can you have for cars to go fast and into one another and into buildings?
And how many ways can you get the word? I think they should make a drinking game out of everything. They probably do. Every time someone says family, you take a drink.
Mate,
I'd be dead by halfway point.
I was going to say, you'd be fucked 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I literally walk out of my body and just leave the cinema and go, I'm out.
We tried to do a drinking game to Back to the Future once, and you had to take a drink every time you said 88 miles per hour, or I can't remember the number of gigawatts it is that he needs, but whatever that is as well. But there's one sequence, the bit where he's watching the video, and so he says it a lot in the video, and then he repeats it to himself, and we literally had to do like 8 shots in a row, and I almost died, I think. I think my soul made a real good attempt at escaping my body during that. And I just wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless you want to die of alcohol poisoning.
Yes, it's not good.
I've got
to say, the Fast and Furious trailer, at this point, they're basically Marvel characters.
Oh, Rich was saying to me, he was like, the thing that I love about like the Fast and the Furious movies is that these are supposedly like relatively normal people. These are just guys who like cars. and yet somehow, like all the fucking time, it's like car chases and police and like drug cartel and whatever the fuck else like crops up in their lives, like doing helicopter stunts and whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's weird now that you think about it.
I think it was the one where they were driving on ice and they were being chased by a nuclear submarine. And I was just like, well, did not see that coming.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like it's a bit shit, but it's also a bit great, isn't it? So yeah, it's fine. We've really rambled. We should do one.
Should we do one?
Should give people their weekend back.
Give people their lives back. Here, have your lives back. You are welcome.
Oh dear, that was another episode of Stace and Barry in the morning, talking shit on a Saturday just for you. Hey, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do a tweet at Stacey's Parlour or at Geek Syndicate, or you can follow us on Instagram at Stacey's Parlour and at Geek Syndicate, or you can send an email to staceandbarry@gmail.com. And I always think I'm going to prep an outro in advance so that I don't get to this part and then start rambling. And look what I've done.
Right.
Look what I fucking did. I love you, everyone. Bye. Is that a good end to a show?
It is a good end to a show, and I'm looking forward to the little short 5-minute podcast that I'll be doing, which will be following this one, which will be a 5-minute apology of the last 38 minutes you've listened to.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
Bye all.
Ta-ra.